Have you ever found yourself feeling drained, anxious, or just completely unmotivated after masturbating? If you have, I want you to know you're definitely not alone. For a lot of people, what starts as a seemingly harmless private habit can slowly begin to impact their mental health, their energy levels, and even their relationships with others. It's a topic that's often surrounded by silence, but today, we're going to break that silence. We're diving deep into why excessive masturbation can sometimes be harmful and, more importantly, how taking back control can truly transform your life for the better. Let's start with the science of what's happening in your brain. When you masturbate, your brain releases a powerful chemical called dopamine. This is often called the feel-good chemical because it's associated with pleasure and reward. It is the same chemical that gets released when you eat a delicious meal or achieve a goal you've been working towards. In moderation, this is perfectly healthy. But here's the catch. When you do it too often, you're essentially flooding your brain with these intense bursts of dopamine over and over again. Think of it like this. If you eat a super sugary dessert every single day, after a while, a simple piece of fruit just doesn't taste as sweet anymore. Your taste buds become desensitized. The same thing can happen with your brain's reward system. When it gets used to these huge, artificial spikes of dopamine from frequent masturbation, normal, everyday activities can start to feel dull and unsatisfying. The joy you once found in a hobby, a conversation with a friend, or even finishing a project at work might seem to diminish. Over time, this can lead to some really noticeable problems. You might feel a constant sense of fatigue, a kind of brain fog that makes it hard to concentrate on tasks. Anxiety can creep in, and you might find yourself feeling more down or emotionally flat than usual. Your brain, now accustomed to this high level of stimulation, starts to crave more and more just to feel the same level of pleasure. This creates a difficult cycle. You'll feel down, so you seek that instant dopamine hit, which in the long run only makes you feel more drained and less satisfied with real life. It's a classic case of diminishing returns, and it can leave you feeling stuck. But the effects of excessive masturbation aren't just in your head. They can manifest physically. It's a very real phenomenon that many men, in particular, report experiencing. One of the most common complaints is a significant drop in energy levels. You might wake up feeling tired even after a full night's sleep, or hit a wall of exhaustion in the middle of the afternoon. This isn't just imagined. Your body is expending energy, and when this process is repeated too frequently, it can leave you feeling physically depleted. This lack of energy can directly impact other areas of your life. For those who are into fitness or sports, you might notice a reduction in your athletic performance. You might not be able to lift as heavy, run as fast, or have the same stamina you used to. Beyond the gym, this can translate into a general lack of motivation for daily tasks. The drive to pursue your goals, whether it's at work, in school, or on a personal project, can feel like it's been turned way down. When your body is constantly in a state of artificial stimulation and recovery, it's just not operating at its peak. It's like trying to run a marathon every single day without proper rest eventually. You're going to feel completely burned out. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of things, because this is where the habit can become a real crutch. For some, masturbation becomes a primary way to cope with difficult emotions. Feeling stressed after a long day, anxious about an upcoming event, lonely or bored. The immediate escape that masturbation provides can feel like a quick fix. It's a way to numb out and temporarily avoid dealing with those uncomfortable feelings. While this might offer a moment of relief, relying on it as your main coping mechanism can prevent you from developing healthier ways to manage your emotions. Over time, this reliance can start to interfere with your real-life connections. It can impact intimacy in a partnership. If your brain becomes conditioned to the specific instant pleasure you get from solo activities, it can sometimes be harder to find the same level of satisfaction with a real partner. Real intimacy is about connection, vulnerability, and a shared experience that's a slower, more nuanced dance than the instant gratification you get alone. This can lead to frustration and a feeling of disconnect in your relationships. It can also make social interactions in general feel less appealing. If you have an easy escape waiting for you at home, you might be less inclined to put in the effort to go out, meet new people, and build meaningful friendships. You're essentially training your brain to prefer solitude and virtual pleasure over real-world connection. So, How do you know if your habit has crossed the line from normal to problematic? It's a personal question, but there are some common signs to look out for. Ask yourself honestly, are you masturbating more than once a day on a regular basis? Do you often feel a sense of guilt, anxiety, or even depression after you're done? Have you noticed that it's become difficult to focus on your work, your studies, or your personal goals? Maybe you've lost interest in hobbies and activities you used to love, or you find yourself turning down invitations to hang out with friends. If any of these sound familiar, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It simply means it might be time to take a step back and rethink your habits. It's about recognizing when something that should be a small part of life starts to take over and negatively affect your overall well-being. The good news is, if you've decided you want to make a change, it is absolutely doable. Breaking any habit is tough, but with the right strategies, you can regain control. First, stay active. Exercise is one of the best things you can do. It's a natural way to boost dopamine, release endorphins, and increase your energy levels. Instead of seeking an artificial high, you're creating a genuine one through healthy effort. Second, keep your mind engaged with hobbies and learning. Pick up that guitar that's been collecting dust. Start learning a new language. Dive into a fascinating book, or take an online course. When your mind is occupied with productive and challenging activities, there's simply less room for compulsive urges to take hold. You're redirecting that mental energy towards something that helps you grow. Third, and this is a big one, limit your triggers. For many, this means avoiding explicit content online. Create healthy digital boundaries for yourself. Use website blockers if you need to. Make a conscious choice to curate your online experience to be more positive and less tempting. Unfollow accounts that don't serve your new goals. Fourth, practice mindfulness and meditation. These are powerful tools for building self. They teach you to observe your urges without immediately acting on them. You learn to recognize the feeling, sit with it, and let it pass. This creates a crucial space between impulse and action, giving you the power to choose a different response. And finally, consider finding some accountability. This could mean talking to a trusted friend, a family member, or a mentor about what you're going through. Simply saying it out loud to someone can be incredibly powerful. Knowing that someone else is aware of your goals can provide the extra motivation you need to stay on track. You don't have to go through this alone. When you successfully reduce excessive masturbation, the positive changes can be profound. Many people report a dramatic increase in focus and productivity. That brain fog starts to lift, and you find you can concentrate for longer periods and get more done. Your energy and motivation often come roaring back. You'll have more physical and mental fuel to pour into your workouts, your career, and your passions. Perhaps most importantly, your relationships can become stronger. You'll have more emotional and social energy to invest in the people around you. Your brain slowly recalibrates, learning to appreciate the natural rewards of life again. A beautiful sunset, a great conversation, a delicious meal, a hug from a loved one. These simple pleasures become more vibrant and fulfilling. Life just feels more real, more colorful, and more engaging. You'll likely also experience a boost in self-confidence, knowing that you have the discipline and willpower to control your own habits and direct your life in a positive direction. It is so important to remember this one key thing. Masturbation itself is not inherently bad or evil. It's a natural part of human sexuality. The issue we've been talking about today is purely about overindulgence. It's about when the frequency and dependencies start to cost you your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. By taking control of your habits starting today, you can reclaim your energy, your focus, and your confidence. You don't have to make a drastic change overnight. Start small. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Start noticing the small, positive changes in your life and let them fuel your journey forward. You have the power to do this. Thanks for watching today. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on self-improvement and living a more fulfilling life. We'll see you in the next one.